Hi, sweethearts. How you doing, Juan? Big hugs and blessings, guys. I just didn't feel like going on Facebook. I just didn't. So today is a 626 day, perfect mirror, and 6 being a tangible plane, 2 being union. Astrology, Mars goes retrograde in Aquarius or retrograde in Pisces in Vedic astrology. And so as we go into this Mars retrograde, it's going to, well, Mars is all about strength. I'll go through this internalization. What it is it's going to be a lot of dissatisfaction within yourself. Mars is retrograde for the next 2 months. And it's all about dissatisfaction with your life, dissatisfaction where you have your relationships, where maybe you're still in love with somebody and can't let go. Maybe you feel somebody is your twin flame, your soulmate, yada, yada, yada. And where that's going to go, if that relationship hasn't worked out, or if that person is still, if you find yourself in a 3-party relationship, being convinced you're a twin flame, this, that, and the other, you're going to find that a lot of that hurt, a lot of that pain, a lot of that betrayal is going to come back up, because it's never about the other person. It's about you. It's how you betray yourself. You gave and gave and gave and loved yourself so much, loved the other so much. This is all about unrequited love. What the human aspect of us has felt and believed to be unconditional love, it was truly conditional love. And so that's a lot of the heaviness is coming in this week. It's a lot of what is going to be dealt with this weekend after we hit this full moon, because the full moon is out. It's going to whip apart all of those faulty foundations, all of those delusions that, and this is really going to be a tough one for the feminine aspects, because this is where the masculine essence within yourself that you have rejected is really going to present itself. And for the masculine aspect, this is where he has kept itself within, not only within you, but within your, the without, intimate relationships without. You're going to revisit, you're going to regroup, you're going to revise, you're going to review all of these hurts and emotions, and anything that you hadn't learned is coming back, and it's going to come back. How you doing, Shell? I love you, so beautiful. And so you're going to find all of that hurt, or where you thought you had failed in a relationship, where you're not opening your heart, where you think your heart is open, but you still fear trusting, opening yourself up to new love, letting the past go. This is all what this is going to be about. And in the Western astrology aspect of it, with Mars being in Aquarius, we're moving into a total lunar eclipse in Aquarius on July 27th/28th, depending on where you are in the UTC time zone. And so this is all about where you are not happy with yourself in life, because Mars is usually the out here, putting your opinions and your strength and your will out, taking action. And now it's retrograde, so it's all internalized. And this is where you're going to be, those feelings of anger that you have buried against yourself. Why was I stupid? Why did I stay in that relationship? Why did I do this? Why did I do that? And this is really, really where you're going to judge yourself. And so if you can really step yourself out of the aspect of what retrograde does and be the observer and really allow yourself to feel this. Now, Mars going retrograde, this is all about faded circumstances and experiences that are going to cause pain. It's going to cause deep pain because it's a farewell energy. And remember, all those faulty foundations are crumbling. This is where a lot are going to come into inner standing and inner knowing that which they thought was their twin flame, this, that, and the other was not. It was all beliefs. Because the twin flame distortion in and of itself, there's a lot of distorted beliefs attached to it. And Mars is going to really bring that up. Mars is also going to really bring up, like I said, this fading experience to truly rip those delusions and illusions away from you to where you recognize them and can move forward. Anything that has kept you in a space of feeling stuck, of not being able to move forward, of sexual wounds, if you will, this is what's going to, Mars in retrograde is going to do, bring up a lot of pain. And so, but the magical thing about it, out of pain comes pleasure always. And it's going to, as much as it's going to bring that pain, that faded meeting with pain, what it's going to do is it's truly going to set you free and save you, if you will, from making a huge, huge major mistake. And this is where truly the divine has really applied intervention. How you doing, Dolores? How you doing, Shanti? I love you guys. Big hugs and blessings. And so this is, even though it's going to be painful, even, it's never easy. Truth is never easy. And it certainly doesn't come without pain and hurt. And this is where truly you're going to see the truth of how you have kept yourself small, where you have kept yourself held back because of fear, because of the hurt, because of the expectations of it being the ultimate relationship. And truly the divine has stepped in and said, look, you couldn't let go of your emotional attachments to that mortal template. And we're coming in and we're going to help you release it because it's not for your highest good. And if you continue, you're going to make a huge, huge, major disruption in your soul plan. And of course, the divine is not going to let that happen. So this is really a gift that's coming in this week, guys. If you can really, and the next 2 months leading us up, we've mentioned this, that, that which hasn't been zero pointed, has not been neutralized, will come up now through the equinox. And so these are the seeds that have been planted, that were, again, planted on a distorted foundation that had not been fully healed. And so this is coming in, and this is really going to show you guys and clear you, allow you the opportunity to clear these distorted energies out so you can truly have the new beginning that you're wanting, the new beginning that you've been planning within here, and the seeds you've been planting. And so that's a magical, magical thing. So that's all really I got for today, guys. And you're starting to feel those energies, and that's okay. Tomorrow night we'll go into the full moon. That's going to amplify these energies again, and dance. I'm pretty much keeping to myself. I've been feeling a lot of waves. I've even been staying off of Facebook for the most part, going through a lot of ceremony within, and a lot of information coming in, and a lot of clarity coming in, and a lot of movement. I got this morning that we are totally in 144,000 are in the ships. We've been going into healing chambers at night, and the healing chambers have really been focusing on etheric, energetic, mental, emotional bodies. Well, now the last few days, last week, it's really been coming into working on the physical body. I woke up with blisters right under this. It's in my eyes, black, a little black, bruised. And it's like, okay, team, what's up? And the Arcturians came in and told me that they've had us in their what was the word that they used? I can't think of it. They're shaping our body, but that wasn't the word they used. They sculpting is the word they used. Our physical vessels are now being sculpted because in our higher primary timelines that we have chosen from a soul level to come in, guys, you know, we're not going to look like this. You know, we'll have the basics, but we're going to be in a perfected state. And so now the physical bodies are being formally sculpted to fully go into that. For those of us that are going into a full light body experience rather than this tangible 3D plane, our higher primary timelines are on the New Jerusalem, because there's many that stay in here in full consciousness that are going to help rebuild this earth. For myself, I'm one that's going to go fully into a light body existence. And so for those of us that are going into a 5D, our higher timeline is a 5D existence rather than here on the tangible plane, if you will. We're being sculpted and we're being returned. Some of us have chosen to be 17. Some have been chosen around the age frame of 21 to 29, some in their 30s. And so our physical vessels are, how you doing, Belinda? How you doing, sweetheart? So our physical vessels are really starting to be sculpted now to be into that. So how you all doing? We can talk now. We can talk. I'm really thinking about setting up a group chat to where we can just, and then I decided to come to YouTube. So how are you guys feeling? Shell, Juan, Shanti, Dolores, Belinda. How are you guys doing with these energies? I know many are getting a whole lot of, I've been getting a whole lot of messages. People are saying, people that aren't even my friends on Facebook telling me you're coming into my dreams at night. You're bringing me messages. You're this, you're that. Two of them last night messaged me this morning and said that they're finding that they were taking it. I was taking them into green emerald waters, and I don't know if you guys seen it, but I posted a short video last night of a starship out here, and I see them all the time, but very rarely do I ever get it on video. And John was napping. Ooh, John was in a reset. Every time we take a nap, every time we go to sleep at night, we're resetting, we're recalibrating. And so before on the videos I have posted of the ships, it's always been at my sister's. I've never been able to capture it moving on like I did last night. That was awesome for me. And you're really going to find that the higher in frequency we go, guys, on the tangible side of things, more and more, because disclosure is a frequency. Belinda keeping it high vibe in Buffalo, New York. Boy, New York's going to have some heavy energies there. Belinda, yes, I have seen you in dream state. Michelle, I'm doing good today. I dreamed of the unicorns last night. Many of you guys are really dreaming of the unicorns and Pegasus in here. Let me finish reading, you guys, and I'll tell you about Pegasus. Margie, lots of downloads, clarity, visions happening, beautiful. Just lost my glasses and thinking about the significance. I love that video. I have pictures of glowfulls and they let me take them. Some will, some won't. It really just depends. And really tune into the energy of the ships, guys, because you're going to be able to feel if it's pure love, connect to them. If you're not feeling that pure love energy, and mind you, recognize, observe whether it's your own or somebody else's. If it's yours or if it's the ship's, but really tune in before you allow that connection. And this will help you in your mastery. It's going to help you in recognizing energy more, feeling into the energies. And the more you do that, the more you engage your intent to see energy, to feel energy, to connect to energy, ask yourself, show me the difference in energies, show me what is benevolent, show me what is not benevolent or malevolent. And it's really helpful to when you're looking at the ships, when you're going into that, when you're trying to connect with them physically outside, not rather than in meditation. And even then too, or the more higher frequency you get to, you'll be able to recognize when discordant energies or any energy is trying to attach to your energetic field. And the more you start to allow yourself to see and hear and work with energy, you're going to find you'll start to command the energies that come in. If you don't recognize an energy, you can command it. Identify yourself. And if you do not want to identify yourself, you need to leave now. Be gone, disintegrate. And more that will become prevalent with you guys through the rest of this year. Well, of course, going forward in any way. Glenda, I see ships more in the daytime. More and more, you can really see the ships. I was trying to see if I could show you guys these ships out of my kitchen window here, but in the clouds, when you look at them, you can see whether it's an actual cloud or if it's spaces in between the clouds. Now, if you guys go back and you look at a lot of pictures you have taken, or any of the pictures I've taken, not of the sun, but of the clouds, you're going to see where you can literally, if you don't look at the cloud, but look through it, if you will, you're going to see where you can see the curves, you can see the straight lines, you can see like a rectangle or a square or a pyramid. You'll see it more and more and more. You will know it's bad ships. The energy is heavy, mechanical, pulling you almost like a seduction field. Yeah, and some of them they are. And more of the ships that you're seeing right now are Pleiadian. Because the Pleiadians will be the first ones that really, as far as landing and anything like that, it'll be the Pleiadians first. And they're already making contact. They're already not just telepathically and through channelings, but for those in a higher frequency that have really left that, have removed their filters, removed those veils. Like me, I can actually see them walking, amongst us. I can identify them, and more you're going to see that start occurring for you. You're going to realize that it's not that they ever needed to land. They're already here. They've already landed. Disclosure, just like heavenly realms, is a frequency. And that's magical, because more and more are coming into those higher frequencies, the more they connect with the Omega consciousness and they embody it. And what do I mean by embody it? It's not just to sit here and, well, I'm awakened, I'm this, I'm that. It's actually living it, being it, doing it, having it. And I'm putting together a webinar on how to rebuild after you've awakened. I'm also putting together a webinar on living through your intuition. And because many right now, that bridge, at any given time, you can stop being a bridge. And you're always going to be a bridge. But you can literally actually stop living it in two worlds. And that's the goal for everyone, to not live in, to actually burn their bridge, to cross it and then burn it. And that's what you're in the process of doing last night. You're burning, or last night. Was that a message, Spirit? What time is it? Last night. But actually, that's what the process you're in doing right now. All of us are. We're burning those bridges because we no longer need to go back to the past. We no longer need to revisit it. And the only reason you do revisit the past is because you haven't zero pointed the memories. You know, you don't need the memories, guys, because you'll always have the memories in the living library. You don't need to carry them with you. Just surrender them and move them to the Akashic living library of the earth. Empty your cup so you can be brand new. And that's the whole point of zero pointing anything. You know, as long as you hold those wounds and those memories and those lower frequency of those memories. And because you see, guys, maybe I should approach this in a different lens. Light is information, electricity. You've heard me say that. So a memory, you've all heard me sit there and say about an energetic signature behavioral template. A memory in your mind, in your brain, is an electrical charge. And it imprints in there. And so when I say zero point or neutralize, it's a matter of going in there and zero pointing and neutralizing that electrical charge signature. You're healing it. What happens when you get struck by lightning or you electrocute yourself? Many people get holes in their bodies, right? Well, an electrical imprint, an energetic signature, that's liken it to that template. It puts a scar, a wound, a hole, whatever you need to attach to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. And when we say go within and heal, if you will, heal your memories, that's what you're doing. You're neutralizing that overlay, that energetic signature. You're putting salve on it. You're healing it to where there's no more bumps in there. It's just, it no longer has that electrical charge to it. And so that's the condensedness, that's the brokenness, that's the fractions, that's the shatteredness. Because you have and this isn't totally accurate, but for the human aspect of it. So you have a DNA strand and now you got holes in it, now you got cuts in it, now you got slices in it, and you're coming through and you're filling those all up. You're neutralizing those electrical signatures, those imprints. It's kind of like liken it to being branded. You know how they brand cattle? Liken it to that, guys. And so you're going in there and you're filling up the cracks, you're filling up the holes, but you're doing that with light. You're healing it through light because light exposes the shadows, the darkness, the wounds, the hurt, the pain, the anger, the betrayal, the rejection, the unworthiness. And so the light is the salve. Your tragedy is always your remedy. And when you truly, truly release all those emotions and all that built up, everything with it, you're actually able to heal your DNA strand. No longer does it have cuts and this and that and holes in it. And really, that's what your journey has been. And the only way in order to do that, because of the deepness, the depth of the subliminal mind programming, was to truly allow you guys to see yourselves outside of yourself, just disguised as different avatars. Does that make sense? Did I explain it a little bit better this time? Belinda, I see Pleiadian ones. They seem to have a lot of levels to the ship. They are huge ships. They are. The ship that I command has 333 floors on it. 333 levels to it. And I have like I average about 900,000 on my ship. 900,000 light beings on the ship that I am commander of. And not all, You're all commanders of your individual Merkaba. Not all of us are commanders of ships. Some of you guys are just crew. Some are lieutenant commanders. Some of you are nurses. Some of you are, well, I'm being told, all right, retract that, clear, cancel, and delete. Medical teams. Some of you are quantum mechanics. It's okay that you don't remember that because you are remembering it. The more and more light you take in, the more information that comes in, deeper clarity. And right now we're really, when I sit here and I say that there is no darkness. There is, I'm talking higher timeline, higher frequency timelines. Now I get to the physical, tangible plane areas. I get that there's beliefs in many. I'm not negating that. I'm not here to concentrate on that. I'm here to get you guys to expand to where it's just pure holy and light. And because that's where we're all going, eventually all roads lead to the same place. And so, Nita, I wonder if I am too. Well, if you're wondering, you're keeping yourself from getting the clarity. And, everybody thinks it's really grand to be a commander, guys. Some of you guys are, again, more on the galactic side. Some of you are more on the angelic side. Now, the angelics, they're more loving. They don't really get into the warrior aspect of it. They don't get into the galactic. A lot of them still don't even fully accept the galactic aspect of it. They think it's cool. They think it's this, but they really don't fully embrace it. And that's okay because they're more angelic. And the more angelic aspects of you, that's where the angels want to be neutral. They're more neutral. They're very loving. They're the opposite end of the pendulum, if you will, the galactics, where the galactics are warriors. The galactics want to call people out. The galactics want to expose. The galactics want this. The galactics want that. And the angelics, they don't want to deal with it. They just want to be loved. They just want to stay away from the discord energy. They don't want to step into it. They're more mild. They are more, why can't we just be love? And see, the journey is to bring the above and the below together, the angelic and the galactic together, the masculine and the feminine together, and the light and the dark together. And it's not to run from the dark. It's not to hate the dark. It's not to keep calling the dark out, exposing them. It's to love them. It's to embrace them because, remember, this lifetime, we're here. It's an ascension cycle of the planet. We never ascend, guys. That's a distortion. We don't ascend. The ship ascends. We awaken. We never leave the earth. We are the earth. We're the indigenous people. And, as you come into more memory and more awakening and more clarity, as more light downloads, you're going to realize, take yourselves back to the Native Americans, to the true indigenous, and you will see, they didn't bury people. Have you ever seen the movie Windwalker? If you haven't, I encourage you guys to. It's a very old movie, but it'll show you they don't bury people, they burn them. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Because by burning, you go back to being the earth. The Native Americans, the ancient Native Americans knew that they were spirit. You've heard me say many times, you never fail, so why do you have to rise? It's all veils, and that's where you guys are coming into that understanding. And this is where a lot of confusion comes in because you've spent the last 5 years And I refer to 5 years because that's when Gaia ascended. That's when the planet ascended. And so the last 5 years has been intense for all of those on the spiritual journey, the awakening journey. Even if you've been doing it for 20, 30 years, I've been on my journey 20 years. It's only been in the last 5 years that you totally started to fully waken up and embody. And the purpose for that was that could not take place until Gaia herself had already, the planet had already ascended. And so as we go through your journeys, it's really just been a matter of coming back in your mind, your thought process, coming back to being totally neutral to where the outside world, because the outside world has dictated that you need an opinion, you need somebody else's input to make a decision. And the whole point of being responsible and self-responsible is learning how to take that power back, take that control back. It don't matter. You don't need somebody else's input for you to make a decision on your life. And that's a hard one to do, especially when you're married and stuff and you're on your spiritual journey. We've always been, absolutely, Harris. We are perfect and whole. We always have been. It's the mind that is not perfect and whole. And Nita, yes, I am angelic, but I have galactic who visit me. They bright green. The Arcturians are more bluish green, yes. And yes, you do have galactics because, you know, when you guys expand your consciousness out, you expand it out to include all of your star nation, star galaxy, star families. You have every star nation of the major 12. You have that DNA within your blood. And so when you expand your consciousness out, no longer do you channel them, no longer do you have to just connect to them. You become them. You bring those aspects fully within to yourself, if that makes sense. And that's beautiful because now you're coming into where you're getting a lot of information and a lot of downloads. Like I've used the example before that some of you are Pleiadian quantum mechanics and you're bringing in that information of how to rebuild or build a starship's engine. Well, you know, an angelic isn't gonna have that kind of information. An angelic is gonna have different wisdom that she or he is bringing in, and you know, maybe that angelic is gonna bring in some information from the Andromedan or from Lyran or Venus or Antara. You know, so there's so much different wisdom that's being downloaded right now, and that's where once we get through these energies of this axis correction and we get through these Mars and gets through the equinoxes and into the fall equinox, this is where a lot of more changes, because anything that you do right now, anything that you start, anything that you are guided and you take action on is really going to have long-term effects, very positive effects. And because we have so much light being, so much energy, light energy that's bathing us to create a new stable and secure foundation on for those that are staying here to rebuild the physical, tangible plane. And that's a beautiful thing, guys. That's truly a beautiful thing. Let's see what else is going on. What's going on for you guys? I can tell you as a collective what's going on and how these energies are going to affect it. Individually, I'm not sure how you guys, what you guys are going to, what you're going through, but I can give you an overall picture of it. Hey, Linda, a ship is connected to this show. Now they are. Now they are over Niagara Falls. Yippee! You guys are actually connected. I'm connected to all of the ships. Um, Literally intergalactic worlds. And when you guys connect to me, you can connect to the ships, the different ones. You can ask for permission. Um, there was a gal who's not a friend of mine on Facebook. She sent me a message. What was it she said to me? Let me look on my phone here. Hold on. She said, something strange happened. I was looking for a pic today, and to my surprise, there is a folder in it. It says your name and a lot of pic and files in it with a lot of Facebook pictures from people. Files I cannot open and pic I never loaded down. Feel it's really strange. And so I don't know if you guys can see this, but so she sent this, and this is what showed up for her. I don't know if you can see it. This thing right here. This is what showed up for her. And it's like, that is really weird. And then it went to another gal sent me a message. And my sister just bought me this laptop so I could start doing live streaming because my phone and the tablet I had didn't have enough memory. And so my sister really blessed me with this laptop this last time I was in there, and in Dallas with her. And it was really weird because this morning I came onto my YouTube because I was going to do a video. I was guided to do it at 11:11, and I came on to do it, and it said that Windows Explorer didn't support live streaming, so I would have to load Chrome. So I downloaded Google Chrome, and I was on video call with Miguel Cartagena. I don't know if you guys are aware of who he is. I was on a video call with him. He's helping me build my website, and this warning came up as I'm downloading Google Chrome, and it was a trip. It was tripped both me and Miguel out. And it went on to say that my whole computer had been infected. It said Windows support or something. And I'm like, it's like, this is really weird. And it said it was linked to pornography on Facebook and all this stuff. And you see on Facebook where everybody gets hacked and stuff, right? And so I ran this came with a McAfee free trial or whatever, right? So I ran it, and it found 20. And mind you, this is a brand new laptop. It hasn't been used. And there's no way that it could have been infected until I downloaded Google Chrome. That's when it came up. And I tell you what, 23 viruses McAfee found, all from downloading Google Chrome. So, guys, if you guys have Google Chrome, or it's Google Chrome and that other one. If you guys have that and you're having your account, people are telling you that your accounts are being hacked on Facebook and that there's videos of porn being sent with your profile attached to it. That's why. So I ended up having to download Firefox, I think it was, to come live on here. But yeah, really watch that, guys, because it was a brand new computer. It's the first time I've really used it, and so watch that. And by the way, we brought in, and we zapped a lot of that. Paula and I zapped a lot of that tracking devices and stuff. We zero pointed a lot of that, so you guys might be running into some of that stuff. Okay, let's see. Harris, I felt September, October, November are going to be epic. Absolutely leading us into the 1-1 gateway of 2019. I heard a ship over Lake Charles, Louisiana, Sunday night. You guys are really, you're really going to start hearing them. And if you get a lot of pressure in your ears, like you're in an airplane, go outside. And I bet you'll see some ships. They were hiding it with a giant cloud. Yep, they're called cloud ships. They cloak themselves in clouds. Linda, I am buzzing so much and I'm being activated now. Cool beans. I can activate you guys some more if you like. I can do some star language. I'm doing a lot of intense integration right now. Thank you, lovely Linda. I love you guys. It's definitely about bridging and cohesiveness of galactic and angelic right now. It is. And there's many out there that say the galactic part of it and the timelines and this, that, and the other are not true, that it's all false light. But if you really go within, you can tell that it's not, because they're all different, literally different dimensional aspects of yourself. And it's just magical, guys. I wish you guys could see these clouds out here. It is. It's just magical. Feeling a lot of heat in my feet is buzzing. Shell ground. That means that's electricity. When your feet get really, really hot and they start getting tingling and maybe a numbing and stuff like that, that right there, if you can't go outside, then get your feet in some lukewarm water or cold water, and because that's showing you that you need to ground. Yeah, Belinda, I love you. If you guys are all wanting it, I will. Last time I did a live video in Houston, and the people were offended because somebody asked me to do star language, so I did it. And they felt like I was interfering with their free will because the others on the show obviously didn't want it, I guess. I can see the rainbow energies. Yay! Okay. Let's take a couple seconds. I'll do some star language, guys. Let's do a couple seconds and really connect our heart centers. And let's breathe. I got my crystals. Phantom crystals and Sugalite crystals. If you put phantom crystals on your third eye, guys, and tea tree oil in your meditations on your third eye, it will really assist you. Ulalai sakahina na mamamai sakahina na lovelo velo 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 ve. Ulalai no kasi ina kai 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 na na la ki sakahina na la rika pai sa la lovelo velo ve. Ulalai sakahina na mamamai kai ka pa. Ulalai sakahina na na rika pi saki. Ini ni 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 ai sakahina na na rika pai ka pa. Ulalai sakahina la la ka pa. Ina sakaina kaina na 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 ni 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 na na ni 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 sakaina na ka. O la la I ko ugai I sakai ko gai ga ga I ka I na ki o la la I ka ki ka pai sakaina. O la la I sakai la velo 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 velo. O la la I ko I sakai ka pai ki sakai la la I ko sakai ka pai o la la I sakaina na 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 mama. Ula shika ha hika hina ba hika ba ba hika hika hina na mama. Ula la shika lo velo 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 velo. I love you guys. I don't think I've ever listened to Judy Satori's in her light language. I really don't. People asked me before if I've listened to Barbara Marcinek, and it was Bobby sent me a link to her. I want to say like 3-4 months ago, and I listened to like 45 minutes ago, and I messaged him. And it's like, that's the stuff I talk about. He's like, yeah. And It was a trip. I know, and I only listened to like 45 minutes of it, but it was a trip. That was really a trip. And I love you guys. Truly, I do. And Brian, thank you. You felt it good. And there are, so I say a star language. The majority speaks light language. It's more geared to the different actually star nations, if you will. In star language, star language is an omnipresent. I speak an omnipresent that actually is all of them together. And more and more, the more you guys connect with and ask yourself to activate your light language. And many of you have been speaking it already, not realizing that's what it is. Light language, tongues, once in a while it'll feel like you guys are trying to talk, have a conversation, and something will come out, right? And next thing you know, you're just like, you're just frustrated, right? And you think you're speaking just gibberish or whatever. You're you're actually activating your light language. And I'm sure there's a few of you who have gone through that. Because it took, who was it? I used to do that all the time in the beginning of my journey, and I did that in front of somebody one time. That was another light worker that I had run into on my journeys as I traveled back and forth, doing grid line and ley line tectonic plate work. And she said, "Do you realize what you're speaking?" And I said, "What, my gibberish?" And I said, "My star language." And she's like, "That's light language." And but what, it's not like what I was just saying to you. I was actually speaking a light language of the insects. On that particular time, she said that to me. And there's times I can go, like one night, Darren was here visiting, my friend Darren, and we went to watch the sunset down the road. And there was a group of cows there, right? And just out of the blue, I'd never spoken cow. Never spoken cow. And all of a sudden, I'm going into all these different octaves and all these different forms of moo and umo and uma, and it was, and I'm telling you, it was a trip because these cows, you know how cows are all scattered all over the range, right? These cows started slowly gathering, and me and Darren are just looking at each other, and he's like, "That is so cool." And then the ships. There were scout ships that started gathering above where where we were watching the um the sunset. That was really a trip for me. I'd never spoken cow language before. I spoken. I can speak to the ravens. Ka 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 ka. I can go into it, and the insects I can do that too. But I've never done it with the cows, and I haven't quite figured out to do. They haven't quite downloaded the deer calling yet to me, but I'm getting better. Shallots, all you guys have to do to activate anything within you, truly, um, is set the intention every night before you go to bed. However you talk to yourself. Self, mighty I am, presence, if you actually say your name, Tom, Dick, Harry, whatever it may be. Set that intention. Ask the Elohim to rewire and recalibrate you to now start receiving. And really open up a lot of energetic blockages right now, subconsciously, unconsciously, are still that opening yourself up to receive. And set that intention every night, and you will find the more you do that the next day, you're going to find little messages, and you'll see. And the more you set your intent on that, and the more you practice, because it's just like a muscle. Your brain is a muscle, and that's your brain is storing all this light information so your mind can can connect to it when your mind empties itself from all the other stuff that's in there filling it up. And so the more you focus on that, just like telekinesis or what's the other one? Bilocation, any of those. Um, but the more you practice it, the more the more you practice staring at an item to try and move it with your mind, the more you're going to be able to do it. Because intent and focus, when you focus and you apply your intent and you take action by doing that which you've been guided, you will activate and you will increase and you will magnify your gifts and abilities. Activated in December, I was, if so, healing helped me clear and restore. Absolutely, it does too. And, the more you can focus on not the past and what you've lost, because right now it's a big collective and individual, you know, you're in a space of sorrow and grief for what was. And in the hardest aspect for the human aspect of us is truly letting go of that which we think we have lost or will lose if we make these decisions or go our own way or this, that, and the other. And when you can focus on not that which you have lost or are losing or is falling away, and really focus on that which you have right now, the gifts that you have right now. How do I go forward? How do I move forward? And the more you can keep that hope and faith in your heart, and rather than focus and, every time I really miss him or I really miss her, or I really wish I had love in my life, or I wish I had money. When you let go of those things that you don't have, those things that you have lost or are in the process of losing, you're going to find that it's going to be much more rapid to manifest and materialize your higher primary timelines. And the more you focus on that, the more you magnetize your power of creation abilities, co-creation energies and abilities. And that's a beautiful thing. That's where how rapid your new life, your new beginning and whatnot, that's where that comes into play at, is how much are you focusing on that, or how much is the human physical existence still dictating and stopping you from the self-discipline of focusing on what you want right now and what you want from the future and creating it right and building it right now versus that which you're focusing on still healing, still this, still that. You're only as broken as you're only as broken as you allow yourself to be. You're only as broken as you see yourself as. So if you see yourself as still on the journey, you're still going to go through lessons and initiations. If you see yourself as graduating and mastering your mastery, that's what you'll experience. If you still see yourself as, I got lots of work to do, well, guess what? You're telling the universe you got lots of work to do. You're not ready for the divine responsibility of being fully embodied yet. So it's really, truly, master your minds. And I live for my energetic workouts daily and consistently throughout the day. Amen. Linda, can you tell us a technique to really release our money blocks? I have been working on this, but still can't budget, because you're still attaching to an energetic template of lack and struggle. Those are you still, and this, when I say you, I'm talking as a collective and individual. See where within yourself that you still have a habit of worrying about not having enough money to make your bills this month, or where you sit there and say, I don't have enough to pay my light bill. I don't have enough to pay the power. I don't have enough to go have a hamburger. I don't have enough to go to the store. Somebody wants you to go to a concert. I don't have the money. You know, how much are you still saying that? Or I'm tired, or I'm depressed, or um, I have to have this job. I can't, Spirit's showing me to do this and do that, but I have to have this job, Linda. I have this conditions and I need my health insurance. And if I quit this job, I'm going to lose my health insurance. That it's not just about money. Now, I can say this: every time you use a debit card, every time you have cash, every time you see a penny on the ground, bless it. Sit there and say, bless the hands and multiply the abundance, because money, everything carries an energetic vibration. Not only the word itself. So, I encourage you, as far as the word part goes, start getting a habit of saying currency. Whole different energetic vibrational frequency. Not only that, every time you think about money, every time you have physical money, change, dollars, debit card, credit card, don't matter. Start setting the intent and blessing it and bringing in the light of Archangel Michael, the blue white light, and the pure gold light of Father. Bring that light in and surround it and neutralize all of those discordant energies and beliefs and attachments that are put on money. Money is a way of survival. That's the Black Madonna I talk about, guys. Because oil is the blood of Gaia, of Earth. That's where all this fractal and everything comes in. And they have robbed her and turned her into a Black Madonna, that all she is worth is black gold, is her oil. Destroy everything and anything and everyone in order to get black gold. And so as we change the frequency and that stops, we have to change everything that is attached to. And that is attached to money, survival, lack, poverty, homelessness, fear, hurt, anger, betrayal, rejection, abandonment. It's sexuality. It's tied into everything. So when you change the energy of the word money and your thought processes to it, you will allow yourself, and when you change your mind thoughts that, well, I can't leave this job, or I can't move, I don't have money to move. Spirit told me to relocate to Australia, but I don't have a passport, I don't have this. You're focusing on the don't. And so really observe your thoughts, that which is habitual. It's just everyday life to sit there and hey, let's go to the amusement park. Well, I don't got the money. It's habit. And so when you can step back and you can observe your words, observe, the unconscious habitual intent that's being put out there, that has just become your normal way of life, and you bless it and you change that energy of money and change it, the whole vibration of it. Catch yourself where you say money. Can I have $5? Change it to currency. And you're going to see slowly, you will get yourself out of the mindset and out of those energetic templates of lack and struggle. And the more you surrender it, okay, my holy cow, Spirit, my power bill is $300 this month, which it's not, but I'm just using an example. Okay, this is when it's due. This is how much I need. I'm surrendering it to you. And every time those doubts come up, it gets closer to the due date. It gets closer to the day. Oh, went past the due date. Spirit, you just keep, Spirit, I surrender this to you. I know you will provide. And when you constantly catch yourself dwelling on it, surrender it, surrender it, surrender it. And you will find that even if it's at the very last minute, someone will come through to help you. Something will come through to help you. You'll be receiving a gift. You win a lottery ticket, whatever it may be, but you will be provided for. And so often the human aspect of us, because we don't know how to open ourselves up to receive, so often reject it. Family member or a friend, here, I'll borrow you the money to pay it. Oh, no, that's okay. I'll figure something out. And you just now rejected that which Spirit has provided for you. And it's those things that when you can catch those things, that's where you're going to change that, sweetheart. Um, did that help, Belinda? Woke up with an abscess yesterday. Hubs went to work, called me in 2 hours. A client gave him a 60-ounce bottle of accelerated silver. Amen. You know, John and Donna, John Blackwell and Donna O'Sullivan, last year, matter of fact, I think I shared a memory yesterday about the last 5 days I'd been in pain and everything else. That was last year. They sent me, I ended up with an abscess over here. And because I only had 6 teeth, the rest are, I have false teeth. And a lot of the abuse and stuff that I had went through had deadened the nerves and stuff. And so they sent me a bottle of colloidal silver and a bottle of, oh God, Donna, what was it? Sesame oil or clove oil. And I tell you what, that stuff, oh, that was so helpful until they could pull that abscess out of there. My whole face was out to like here. It got really, really bad. The infection went all the way down to about here. And I was tripping out the dentist. He was scared for me. Michelle, starting tonight with everything you were discussing, filling the unicorns. So we'll set the intent to them. Oh, Pegasus, and because truth is coming out right now, and we've moved into that frequency of truth, you're really gonna find that Pegasus is coming to many of you in your dream times and your meditations. This, that, and the other. Pegasus is truth, and he brings in the light of truth. And so every time that there is something major that you really truly need to have cleared from you, that you really need to see the absolute truth of an energetic pattern or this, that, or the other, or, it's for your highest good to have something completely zero pointed at this point that has been blocking you or whatever, Pegasus will come in and that lightning bolt of truth. And, there's times where you can call up and you don't really want to abuse Pegasus's gifts. There's times when you are in an absolute, and I'm not saying what the human aspect declares as hopeless, but from a soul spirit aspect, kind of like what happened with me when I walked into this vessel. What happened with my vessel's fragmented part of her soul. The light of truth will come in and it will short circuit anything that is not of that absolute truth. And that's kind of what's coming in now with this Mars going retrograde, because what isn't, where I said this is where fate is going to bring in a circumstance from the past or a person back from the past or someone that has that energies or whatever it is that has fully blocked you from moving forward, that has fully blocked us as a collective moving forward. This is what it's going to do to stop us from making a major new recreation of miscreation. And so this is actually going to be a very beautiful shutdown, if you will. And that's why Pegasus is making its appearance so much right now, because Pegasus is bringing in the light of truth and dismantling anything that is not for your soul's highest good and the highest good of all of us. So that's where that's at. So, Belinda, that helped good. I feel good when you explained that. I felt that shift good. And so I love you guys, truly. Have a magical, magical day. And if you guys are feeling like another group, wanting me to go live or something, I'm probably going to start doing it on here. And I'll have my website up shortly. That's going to be directly linked to here in my Patreon account. And that's going to be more of a roundtable platform, interactive wisdom, stuff like that. And so I love you guys. You got this. Message me if you guys need some help centering and getting through this week. This next weekend's going to be intense for many. And know a lot of this is just the collective energies that we're conduits for. So let's dance. I love you guys. Big, big, big hugs and blessings. And, ground, guys. There's a lot of electricity coming in, and drink a lot of citrus water. It'll help. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye now. Big, big hugs and blessings.